Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Sami here. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto died? Tsunade went back in time to save him, part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. Naruto sat in bed recovering from his massive fight with Madara Uchiha, and a more pleasant encounter he had only 10 minutes or so ago. Naruto was once again covered in bandages, and recovering in the hospital. Both arms were broken, and he had been massively injured. He had used his Rasen Shuriken twice to actually kill Madara Uchiha. This broke both his arms, and nearly poisoned him because of the damage done to him when he used that particular. Given all this, Naruto was in an incredibly good mood. Shizune had just left after acquiring a sperm specimen the easy way, condom, and riding the blonde to completion. The second riding had ended about 10 minutes ago, that one without a condom. Naruto smiled at the memory. She had said it was for Tsunade to continue the Senju clan with her, as the surrogate mother. He would be a father yet again, as Shion was expecting their first child. The request from Shizune and Tsunade was confusing, as he thought of Tsunade as a grandmotherly type, but could not understand why she would want to also have children with him, with Shizune acting as a birthing mother. Naruto had enjoyed the love-making sessions with Shizune, one of several over this last week. Apparently either she was enjoying it too much, or she wanted to become a mother of his children also. Naruto was not as dumb as most thought he was. He had noticed that several females in the village appeared to be pursuing him. Hinata, Isaribi, Yakumo, and several civilian females his age kept on following him, and hinted at possible dates with the blonde. He had decided not to act like Sasuke by running, and spurning the attention of the females that seemed to want his attention. Heck, he wanted the attention, and if he could get it without going to extremes, he was all for that. He did try not to be a man who was just going to use women to satisfy his own carnal desires, seeing as that was the path that Jiraiya had gone. No, Naruto wanted to have a relationship with the woman in his life. His relationship with a certain pink-haired teammate had changed to more of a sisterly relationship over the last few years, if still a little abusive. Sakura then entered the room with a gentle smile. Hey Naruto, you look chipper today, but it smells kind of stuffy in here. Let's open a window. Sakura stated, as she moved over to the window, and then opened the window. Now it isn't that much better. How are you healing from your fight? Naruto sheepishly looked at Sakura. Shizune was just here, and said I was healing just fine. She said I would be ready to leave in a couple weeks, but definitely no more Rasen Shuriken, Naruto exclaimed, as he blushed profusely. Okay, that is nice Naruto, but you still need some rest, and I have something here for you. Sakura said, as she pushed a needle into Naruto's arm. Naruto looked up to protest, but was already getting sleepy. It's time for you to see our old teammate. He has a surprise for you. Sakura whispered under her breath. Tsunade shook her head, as she was dealing with 3 females in front of her, Hinata Hyuga, Kunoichi, an heir to the Hyuga clan, Isaribi, former experiment for Orochimaru, dear friend of Naruto, and finally Yakumo Kurama, heir to a family of specialists. All 3 were pestering Tsunade to let them all marry Naruto or at the very least date him. Look girls, I don't want to do this, but I have to keep Naruto-kun from you, Tsunade protested. The Hokage-sama, Naruto is the best for each of us. Isaribi stated. Naruto-kun is loved by Hinata-sama, Yakumo-sama, and by me. We all love him for who he is. He has saved each of us at one point or another. Our feelings are not because he has become a powerful shinobi or because he is to become Hokage. We all love him in our own way, but the council had enacted a law that would never allow him to marry. This was done before I returned to become the Hokage. There is no way I can change it. If we could go back in time, we might be able to change it. Heck, as time has passed, I hate to admit it, but I would love to marry the knucklehead too. Tsunade replied with a blush. Their conversation was interrupted by several screams outside of Tsunade's window. Up on the top of the Hokage's tower, Sakura held Naruto by the neck over the edge of the tower rail, as another figure appeared next to her holding a young blonde-haired woman. Sakura, waken. The figure behind her demanded. Sakura pulled out a syringe, and pushed it into Naruto's arm. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. What is the meaning of this, Sakura? Naruto growled out, as he figured he was not in his hospital room with the wind blowing up his hospital gown, and Sakura having her hand around his neck. Well, you succeeded in your promise of bringing him back, but too bad your affection was wasted on me. I never loved you. I care about you, but I still love Sasuke, so I am apologizing now for what we are going to do. Just understand it is for the best. Sasuke-kun says he will finish what the Yondaime began 19 years ago. He also says he is going to marry me. I am truly sorry, Naruto, I really am, but this has to be. Sakura said, as she wanted Naruto to understand. So you never loved me, not even a little? Naruto asked with a tear falling from his eye, and Sakura shook her head. A scream was heard from below. So you are going to kill the monster. Right, team. Naruto yelled, as he was unable to move his arms which were still bandaged, and mostly useless. So, you think they will see you as a savior? What did you do for them? I know you suffered, but it was not to the same level as mine was. Naruto suddenly noticed whom Sasuke was holding, and terror struck his heart. What are you doing with Shion-chan? What do you know about Naruto? My family was killed on orders from this village. Sasuke protested, as he underscored his rage. What do I know? Shall we move backwards? My teammates abandoned me, you first, and now Sakura. Kakashi barely trained me, but showed favoritism toward you. You got everything I wanted. You were never shunned by most of the village, nor were you given tests at the academy that were either meant for or had put on them. Did you have to teach yourself to read and write? No, you had parents to help teach you that. I have been overcharged by most of the shops in the village, heck most wouldn't even let me in the door, others would sell me outdated food, but hey, the great Uchiha could get a discount in any store. Best of all, your family didn't put a curse seal upon you. No, I got a stage higher than that. I got a Hokage to do that for me. Naruto explained, as his neck began to hurt. I never asked them to show me any favors, they just respected that I was an Uchiha. Sasuke countered. Naruto rolled his eyes at Sasuke's rebuttal. So all the hurt and anguish they heaped upon me along with what both of you are doing now, was only because you are an Uchiha, and I had the Kyuubi sealed within me without my permission. Sasuke looked out over the crowd that had begun to assemble, and yelled to them. Everyone. I am going to destroy the Kyuubi reborn, Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke then drew his sword, and impaled the blonde in the heart. Goodbye Naruto. You were my friend. You made me the last Uchiha, and for that you must die. I no longer see Kyuubi, as it would only get in the way of my plans. Sasuke whispered into Naruto's ear, as he pulled the sword to the side, using Naruto's ribs as a guide, and sprayed blood from Naruto's destroyed heart. Oh, by the way, there is a poison on my blade that will not allow you to heal. I figure you have about 2 minutes to live. What will you do now? Other than die. Oh, and I will not let this bitch have your demon spawn either. Naruto watched, as Sasuke picked up the unconscious Shion, and pushed the sword all the way through her chest while he smiled. Now you can die with your whore. Sasuke yelled, as he and Sakura dropped the pair off the tower. Naruto and Shion landed in a heap at the bottom of the tower. I have rid the village of the evil of the Kyuubi. I have also ensured that it did not have any more demon spawn. Some of the crowd applauded, some were revolted by what had just happened. Naruto winced in pain, as Tsunade, Hinata, Isaribi, and Ikumo screamed their horror, as they all knelt beside the stricken pair. Naruto coughed up blood, and then grinned. I am sorry Abu-chan, girls. Is Shion-chan alright? Naruto asked apologetically. Tsunade shook her head, as tears rolled down her eyes. They saw his eyes turn red with slits. You won't get away with this team, and your Sharingan will not stop the Kyuubi this time. You were evil, to have killed me in cold blood, one of the women I love, and our unborn child. Naruto called out with all of his strength, as he was surrounded by red chakra. Naruto smiled, as the red chakra burst forth from him. They formed a large fox with 9 tails. Tsunade and the girls were all weeping, as they had jumped down to see what they could do for Naruto and Shion. They all knew there was little they could do to stop Naruto and Shion from dying. The fox looked angrily at both Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke-kun, what do we do? Sakura asked meekly. Sasuke tried to force his will upon the Kyuubi, but it didn't work. What is going on? Why would you not submit to my will? Demon Fox Sasuke asked Kyuubi. I have a little tale to tell the people of Konoha before I kill you. Do they remember the founding of Konoha? The Uchiha and Senju both agreed to found a village, so that they would no longer have to fight each other. The Uchiha have had a hold on me since times gone by. The Senju could also control all of the Bijuu through their Mokuton ability. Now that the one who was responsible for the attack on Konoha that happened when Naruto was born is dead, Madara Uchiha, I can end your pathetic evil line, Uchiha. You think you deserve revenge for the choice that your brother of the village made? Well, let me give you some information. Uchiha, Madara is the one who made me attack the village in order to kill off the Uchiha, and that included you, idiot. The kid, Naruto, has kept my anger at bay for all these 19 years. Now the honorable Sasuke Uchiha kills his best friend and a pregnant woman in cold blood, with the help of the Pink Banshee. You are not shinobi, you are murderers, and without honor. Naruto loved you, but others loved him, and you strung him along like he was nothing. Well, he is getting another chance. The Shinigami has agreed to help us fix this. So I will take pleasure in hurting those who have hurt the kids, starting with you too. The fox stated, as its jaws closed upon both Sasuke and Sakura, killing both instantly. The fox went on a rampage for the next 20 minutes, killing people, but leaving others alone. Only those who had either hurt or injured Naruto were killed by the Kyuubi. Tsunade and Hinata both worked furiously to try to stem the blood from both Naruto and Shion. They were able to extend their lives for several precious moments. Isaribi held his hand as she wept. Naruto watched as the 4 females worked their hardest to try to save both Shion and himself. He knew that their work was in vain, as he had torn the seal on the Kyuubi's cage. If I only had the time, I would want to try to be with each one of you, Naruto said quietly. Ikumo gently kissed Naruto on the lips, as tears hid his face. We all love you, Naruto-kun. If we could, we would give you all that you have missed. Hinata's eyes streamed tears, as she worked to heal his shredded heart. No, Naruto-kun, not yet. I love you too much to let you go now. Tsunade shook her head, as she worked on Shion. If we only had more time we might be able to fix them both. Xian looked at Naruto and smiled gently as life left her eyes. Naruto is saddened as Xian dies. Naruto's eyes went blank as he smiled at each of the females kneeling over him. I love you all. Naruto's arm went limp as his breathing stopped. All four yelled no in unison. The fox returned and bowed before the teary-eyed woman. He will be missed, but there is a way to fix this. It will take quite a bit of my power to do it, but I propose a way to fix this and have the kid back. Do you accept it? The fox asked quietly as the woman just nodded. I can bring one of you back in a new full body, but the others only as spirits. Since you are the oldest, and all love the kid, I will send you back in a body. The other three will take their spirits back. We will also take Xian's spirit back. Then you can either take over your younger bodies or you can merge with the current spirit. If you just take over you will kill your younger spirit. I advise against it. Tsunade, was it? Tsunade nodded to the fox's question. I will give you a new body so that like the others you can be with the kid like you so wanted, but there will be a catch though. Tsunade blushed and tried to deny it. What do you mean? You all wanted kids from Naruto-kun. Do not deny it, I can smell it on all of you. I can also see it in your grief. Do not think I do this for any reason other than my own survival. This is a one-time offer from the Shinigami, and I do not want to waste it. I will die here in less than a half an hour. So here is how it will go. The four girls and I will merge with our younger selves. Tsunade will appear in Konoha in her younger body. The kid will be about 12 years old, as will all the girls. The Shinigami also wants Tsunade to follow Naruto to find a certain individual that should not have died years ago. She will also agree to share the kid with all of you. We are returning to the time just before Naruto left for the Wave Country. I am sure you know whom I speak to. Kyuubi asked, as Tsunade nodded. You are referring to the fake hunter Nin, I presume. Tsunade asked, and the fox nodded. If we can have Naruto-kun back we will do anything. Hinata added, as both the others nodded agreement. The fox dissipated, and then all four women were surrounded by red chakra. None were burned, but it did hurt. All of them screamed, and then passed out, and then passed away. Tsunade woke up in the Senju clan house, and realized she was completely naked. She awoke in one of the guest bedrooms on the bed, along with the worst headache she had ever had. She found some clothes that seemed to fit her, as she found a full-length mirror, and saw that her body was that of her 14th year or so. Boy is Naruto-kun in for a big surprise when he gets older. Tsunade thought to herself. She then noticed her hair was a slightly lighter shade than it was when she was 14. There was also a nagging presence in the back of her mind. She quickly put on the clothes she found, and raised some family money, so that she could get some items for the trip to the Wave Country. Tsunade then went to the market, and purchased several things. Kunai, shuriken, food rations, and feminine hygiene supplies. The thing that bothered her was people kept on calling her Yoshiko-sama. She then found Naruto walking with his pack towards the gates. She made sure not to make eye contact. That would happen after she had saved Haku. Tsunade walked out of the village, and followed Naruto just to keep an eye on him. Hinata woke up in her bed, and got ready to do a mission with Kurenai-sensei. She decided she needed to talk to her sensei about her feelings for a certain blonde. She also did her best to talk to her younger self, as it kept on passing out on her. This is going to make merging a little harder than I thought. I really do hate these D-rank missions. Daisurbi had an easy time, as she woke in her shack outside of the village near Demon Island, and explained to her younger self, that if they merged, they would find someone to love them for who they were, not to despise her for what they are. The younger embraced her so quickly it was almost disturbing. Isurbi was happy now that she knew where to go now. All she had to do was leave that idiot of a scientist, and head towards Konoha. Ikumo was having it almost as easy as Isurbi, as she and her younger self had quickly dispatched it, while she showed her younger self how she could be helped if they merged. It was easy to dispatch, as the young Yakumo played her part, as bait easily, and the older Yakumo ambushed it, and killed him even easier than it was with Naruto-kun and Kurenai's help. Xian was having a hard time, as her younger self did not quite believe that she would find someone who could actually change someone's destiny, and most of all love her for her. And to know that her older self was pregnant, and had died was also quite a shock. This would take some time for both of them to be able to get along. Tsunade was not doing so well either. She had followed Naruto's team out of the village, as she had shown her papers to the guards who let her pass with few questions. She looked at the papers, and the name on it was Yoshiko Senju, daughter of Tsunade Senju, age 14. As she followed the team at a distance she saw the fight with the demon brothers, and watched as Naruto froze at the start of the fight, only to be hurt by one of the assailants. Kakashi, why did you bring them out so early? They were just not ready. She thought questioningly. She watched, as Naruto made a determined speech, and pushed his kunai into his hand to let the poison out. Tsunade rolled her eyes, as Kakashi warned him that he might bleed to death from his actions. Tsunade had to hold her temper, so that she did not jump out just to kill both the Uchiha and her former apprentice-to-be. She then followed them across the water, as they moved towards the island. She wanted to make sure that she did not interfere with what was happening until the time was right. Tsunade watched the antics of Naruto, as he tried to make sure that Sasuke didn't show him up. Naruto threw kunai at an animal and got berated for going wild with his equipment. She then sensed it, as did Naruto and Kakashi. Naruto then threw a kunai right at the chakra signature, even though it was well hidden. Tsunade smiled when she saw that his senses were working. It angered her, as she watched Sakura berate and hit Naruto for scaring her. Kakashi then called for everyone to duck, as Zabuza's sword nearly decapitated the whole group. Tsunade sighed in relief, as Naruto had avoided injury. Tsunade watched, as the introductions finished, and the fight began. Naruto and Sasuke were holding their weapons properly, but Sakura appeared deficient. Then the mist completely covered the battlefield. After several moments, Kakashi blew the mist away with his chakra. Sasuke seemed frozen by the killing intent and intensity of the chakra. Tsunade chuckled lightly, as she watched Sasuke nearly kill himself. Tsunade watched, as the battle played out. She watched in horror, as Naruto was nearly killed, but he then gained the courage to stand up against Zabuza, as Zabuza trapped Kakashi. She nearly cheered, as Naruto used his shadow clones, and hence to trick Zabuza into releasing Kakashi. She sensed Haku showing up, and they both watched the battle. The battle concluded when Haku disabled Zabuza, making it look as if she had killed him. Tsunade heard a voice in her head. Yes, that is her, but the time is not right just yet. Naruto was then forced to drag Kakashi's unconscious body to Tsunade's house, and she then lost track of them inside the house. Tsunade began to search the island for a place to stay, and to also find out where Zabuza and Haku were hiding. She knew the story of Geto and the Land of Waves, or at least the one that was told to her. She found their hideout quickly enough, but was not sure how to meet with Haku, and definitely did not want to meet Zabuza. Tsunade left, and headed to a nice place to camp near Tsunade's house. I wonder if Naruto is able to contact Kyuubi yet. Tsunade thought to herself. She again heard a voice in her head. No, he has not, and will not until either you help him or Jiraiya again throws him off the cliff. He will be able to access my chakra, but not me. So we should wait and watch to make sure there has been no corruption of the time stream. So now do not ask how I am able to talk to you, you are just in close proximity to the kid, and we have a couple surprises for you. I would like it if you would either interfere after the girl is injured, or keep her from protecting Zabuza. I can offer you some chakra to help if you want to heal her after she is injured by Kakashi, but you must be in direct contact with the kid for it to work. Tsunade raised an eyebrow. Kyuubi. The voice in her head chuckled. No, I am the festival bunny. Of course I am Kyuubi. Who else do you think would talk to you in your head? Oh, by the way, you are the only one I can do this to other than the kid. As for the chakra for healing, you will need to ask the kid to touch your shoulders and mold some chakra. I will send you the needed chakra. Do not tell him what I told you, as we need the timeline to not be too messed up. Tsunade nodded, as she went back near the house, and set up camp near a field that held medicinal herbs. So how can I talk to you, and the others can't? For when your body was brought back to life with one of my future tales. You, my dear, are also a. Kyuubi answered. Tsunade stopped making camp, and wore a confused look. What do you mean I'm a? Because your body was brought to life by my chakra tail, and one of my dying kids, you are more than you seem. You shall be the kid's prime mate. The others will be subservient to you. I know the Hyuga girl would rather be the prime, but you are a stronger mate, and they will fall into line. The Shinigami also deemed this, as he has power over life and death. Oh, one other thing. You must mate with him first, then the others may mate with him, but you must be first, or all of you will die, and that includes the kid and myself. I will explain it all in time, but you do not have to worry about mating with him until the kid is a little older. Do you have a cover story for when you meet the kid yet? Kyuubi inquired with a chuckle. Wait, what do you mean by one of your dying kids? Tsunade inquired, almost frantically. We, meaning the Shinigami, and I, have used the miscarried child you had from your younger body, and a kid of mine that was dying. It was sealed within you before the miscarriage occurred. I am sure glad the Shinigami is on our side. Have you tested your chakra yet? It will have a demonic tinge to it. While you are similar to your older self, you are also a little different. Your consciousness will have to merge with the one in this body, but your genetics are a mix of Jiraiya and Tsunade. Basically you are their daughter. Kyuubi replied with a chuckle. So you made me my own daughter, and daughter of that pervert Jiraiya. Why might I ask? Tsunade asked, almost incredulously. Kyuubi sighed. 1. As a means to an end. 2. We could not create a body without a lot of work. We have suppressed your body's memories of your childhood for the moment. Tsunade and Shizune have raised you for 14 years. We didn't even need to manipulate your past self to have a child with Jiraiya. It just seemed like the best option. If you remember correctly, you miscarried 2 years before the kid was born. Instead, we allowed that child to live. Also, you must rest so that your mind and her mind can merge and become one. And, as for being a eukaryote kid within you made from 2 of my tails and my child, thus the reason why we have the link. We took a tail from my future self and one from my present self, and we used them to keep you alive as a baby. You have adequate chakra control and all your knowledge. You just woke up as yourself because we set a mental timer seal upon you so that you could meet up with the kid. Also you have the Mokuton gene active, and with that you can help control the kit, so he does not go a little too wild. Not my idea, as I would rather that little thing go away like the Sharingan, but enough chit chat, now go to bed, and merge with your new self. As she drummed she learned her given name was Yoshiko. According to Shizune it was to help her mother with her terrible luck. Not that it actually worked. Yoshiko accepted Tsunade as part of herself, and agreed to merge their memories and personalities. She found Yoshiko to be young and open-minded, and did not mind being set to wed Naruto, especially as she learned about how handsome he would become. She also had no problem with sharing the boy. Yoshiko was a little bit disturbed that her father was Jiraiya, as her mother never let her near the man except for once. Yoshiko wanted to change that and get to know her father and his future apprentice. In the morning Yoshiko woke and knew who she was and what she needed to do. With nearly 70 years of experience she knew that she was no longer a 50-plus-year-old woman, nor was she a 14-year-old girl. She did know that she was in love though. Given all the knowledge from Tsunade's personality and extra chakra to control, she also felt the added reserves from the two-tailed demon seal within her. She meditated the rest of the day to get a hold on her chakra and to try to reach the demon kid within her. She knew that she would have about a week until Naruto-kun would have to come by and train his little heart out, so she decided to watch and train herself. She knew all that an older Tsunade knew and all the training her mother had given her. She was deeply confused and relieved at the merger. She had an endless circular thought about her being her own mother in a strange mixed-up way. But the Shinigami had given where it had taken before, and she was not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. She just hoped that the messing with the time stream that the Shinigami and the Kyuubi had done didn't screw things up too much. She also knew she had to save both Naruto-kun and Haku-chan. After several hours she heard Naruto yelp in pain as he fell from his first attempt at tree climbing. She smirked as she thought of how part of her wanted to go and help heal him. She then heard a whisper of a voice within her. "Hello, is anybody there?" Yoshiko closed her eyes and found herself in a field with a giant fence. There was a fox the size of a horse with two tails on the other side of the fence. "Who are you?" Yoshiko asked. "I am the inner demon you carry, your burden. You are my container, no doubt." The fox replied. "I know Kyuubi is dangerous, but are you?" Yoshiko asked. The fox smiled and produced a glint in its eye. "We are always dangerous. You can only trust us if we give you our word. But father has stated that you are to be treated well and given chakra when needed. As I do not know the outside world, so you will be my eyes and ears. I will enhance your senses to help protect both of us. You being a Mokuton user forces me to obey you only as much as you can keep me in line. Remember this girl, we are a pair, but when you die I move on, like father will now." Tsunade looked shocked. "Yes, the Shinigami altered his seal so that when Naruto-kun dies so will you, and it will release both of us. But that will only happen if he can reach his 20th birthday. You are special in the eyes of both the Shinigami and father. You all in your older form you were like a mother he never had, and he loved you that way, and more. It is hard to describe, as the boy did not have any idea what love really was, at least not until the end. Now that we have merged yourself with your older version of your mother, this has helped you in many ways. First, you now have access to several that you would not have had otherwise. Your chakra control has changed from poor to above average. It will take the rest of the week for us to get it to a level where you can do precise healing. As I do have some of my father's memories, I would advise you to work on your chakra control first, and then you should figure out a technique that will heal a girl suffering from a Chidori attack to the chest. Also, we will be taking Haku-chan away from Naruto-kun to help keep from polluting the timeline too much. I will say this, though. Zabuza can live or die. That is up to you or the situation. Either way Haku-chan must survive, and Gato must die. Naruto-kun must be entered into the exams, and from there we can push to change how things happen. You must act as a sideline player for a while, as will Haku-chan. When you return you can tell your mother about nothing that you know. I am sorry, but father was forceful that Sarutobi be sent to the Shinigami. It will be his time to go. Yoshiko's eyes watered, as she knew her one-time sensei would have to die. Why do I have to have all these memories? Why does Sarutobi sensei have to die? I feel like I know Naruto-kun, but now I don't. You know him well enough, and you will fall in love with him again. He is your mate after all, and there is no way around it. Now, I will help you to deal with the heartache of the loss of his older self, and you can start to learn to love him for yourself. The fox gently stated. Maybe we can get him to change into another color or tone down his outfit some. Is that why I have always had this image in the back of my mind of a blonde boy with whisker marks? Yoshiko asked, as she began to softly cry. The fox nodded its head. Yoshiko broke the connection with the fox, and opened her eyes. She found her face wet from tears that she wouldn't stop flowing. Why am I crying? Yoshiko asked herself. As I said, I am going to help you deal with the loss of the older Naruto-kun. We have a week to deal with it, and then save his younger self, and one of the people who is precious to him. By the way, you can refer to me as Aki, Yoshiko, formerly Tsunade, and Yoshiko. We are also dealing with the assimilation of over 50 years of experiences for your Tsunade half, and about 14 years from yourself. This is what is needed. Aki replied gently. Why are you being nice to me? Aren't you demon foxes supposed to be malevolent? Yoshiko inquired. Only when angered, and I'm still young, so you do not have yet to worry about me double-crossing you yet. I figure it will take about 400 years for me to be ready to trick you. Aki replied with a chuckle. I will be dead by then. Yoshiko stated. My point exactly. Yoshiko heard the fox snicker. Now let's get to training. We need you to have expert chakra control. Now make about 50 shadow clones, and have them get to work on chakra control exercises such as climbing trees, spinning leaves, water walking, and any others that you can think of. Aki ordered. I know, also dismiss them in small groups, so as not to overflood my mind with information. Yoshiko replied mentally. With 50 Yoshikos working in the forest and near the water on chakra control, the original worked on her kata for her taijutsu. The rest of the afternoon was spent doing the taijutsu kata, while the clones worked on chakra control. She eventually quit and dismissed the clones. The evening meal was actually larger than she thought she should have eaten, but Aki assured her she needed a lot more food than a normal person to keep up her energy. The next day she created an extra clone and sent it off to watch over Naruto-kun for her, while she continued to work on her skills. Every night she would play the memories of Naruto-kun trying so hard to get the tree walking exercise down. She felt a mild blush cross her face at the memories, and a warm feeling in her stomach. The rest of the week was the same routine, as she came to look forward to getting the clone's memories of watching Naruto-kun. On the night of the 5th day she found Naruto lying exhausted on the ground in a patch of medicinal plants. Tomorrow is the morning, isn't it, Aki? Yoshiko asked her tenant. Yes it is. Now we will wait for Haku-chan to find him in the morning. Aki replied, as Yoshiko made a clone to watch over Naruto while she slept. The next morning she woke early, and dismissed the clone just before Haku arrived. At first it looked like Haku would attack Naruto, but she then woke Naruto. They had a nice conversation about precious people. It ended with Haku proclaiming she was a boy, and leaving just as Sasuke arrived. Yoshiko pushed down her animosity towards Sasuke for at least for a little while, as of right now Sasuke is Naruto's friend and teammate, and their banter was more playful than it would later become. Yoshiko woke the next day. She sent a clone to check on Naruto at the house, and she herself went to the bridge to keep an eye on Haku, to make sure she did not get hurt early. She arrived at the bridge to watch, as Zabuza had either scared off or knocked out all the people ready for work on the bridge. She hid, and waited for Team 7 minus Naruto to arrive. It didn't take long. The fight began with Zabuza teasing Sasuke about being afraid, but Sasuke replied that he was excited. He then proceeded to destroy 5 of Zabuza's water clones. The fight then proceeded to fighting between Sasuke and Haku, while Kakashi and Zabuza watched. The fight between Sasuke and Haku was rather one-sided, as Haku showed her superior skills and mastery of her Kage Genkai. Naruto eventually showed up, and proceeded to pull some very stupid maneuvers, but all in all he acquitted himself well for a genin against Yoshiko watched, as Sasuke selflessly sacrificed himself to protect Naruto, and in turn have Naruto release some of the Kyuubi's chakra in despair, as he believed that Haku had killed Sasuke. He used it expertly, as he was pummeling Haku. Yoshiko was worried that she might have to rush in, and save her earlier than expected. Yoshiko watched, as Kakashi readied his lightning, and was ready to hit Zabuza. Haku at that moment created an ice mirror, and moved in front of Zabuza. Now Yoshiko, go now. Aki yelled in her mind, as Yoshiko moved at top speed to catch Haku, as Kakashi pulled his hand out of her chest. Yoshiko watched, as horror and fear swept across Naruto's face. Yoshiko gently placed Haku on the ground, cut a large bundle of Haku's hair, placed it on her chest, and began to do a healing on Haku, as everyone, but Naruto and Sasuke looked on in shock. Sasuke was unconscious, and Naruto had come running to see what had happened to Haku. Naruto slid on his knees to end up at Haku's before he turned to Yoshiko. Can you heal him? Naruto asked with worry on his face. Yoshiko nodded and blushed. I can with your help. Naruto looked confused. Come behind me, and place your hands on my shoulders. Then channel chakra into your hands. I will be able to use your chakra to augment my own to do the healing, as I don't have a healing seal ready. Naruto complied, as he got up and walked behind Yoshiko. He placed his hands on her shoulders touching her shirt, and began to channel chakra to his hands. His face became red. Like this? Naruto asked shyly. Yoshiko shook her head. No, you must touch my skin for it to work, or we will just be wasting chakra. Naruto gulped and knelt down. He then placed his hands on the skin of her upper arms, as both of them blushed at the touch. Yes, that's it, thank you, Blondie. Yoshiko replied, as she smirked. Sasuke started to stir in Sakura's grip. Sakura watched intently, as Naruto touched the new girl. Sakura's face contorted in anger. Naruto, you don't touch a girl like that. Naruto looked at Sakura with a worried look on his face, not sure if he should let go or continue to do what he was doing. He then noticed the wound on Haku begin to close. He also noticed the wrappings on Haku's chest. He averted his eyes to make sure that Haku was not a girl, and embarrassed the both of them. But Sakura, I have to help. Naruto replied sadly. Naruto, he is the enemy. and she should be helping Sasuke-kun instead. Sakura yelled her protest at Naruto. Shut up, Pinky, Yoshiko demanded. I am working here, and he is helping while you should be watching the end of the bridge. Geto stood there with all of his thugs with surprised looks on their faces. How did you know we were here? Geto demanded, then shook his head. It doesn't matter. Zabuza, you failed me. Now I'm going to kill you, and these worthless shinobi who stopped you. I will take the girls, and take special pleasure in tormenting your young apprentice. Yoshiko turned to Naruto, who looked into her eyes. Hey kid, thanks for helping Haku. Can you spare a kunai? I want to take out the trash. Zabuza said, as he tore the bandages on his mouth. He turned to Tsunade, and smiled. Guess I am no longer after your life. Zabuza then turned back to Naruto and Yoshiko. So kid, you got that extra kunai? Naruto looked at Yoshiko, who nodded, and spoke. You can remove one hand then return it. I only need a few more minutes to help her. Naruto smiled a real smile, and moved his right hand to his pouch, and pulled out a kunai, deftly throwing it to Zabuza, who grabbed it in his mouth. As Zabuza ran to the group of thugs, Naruto replaced his hands, and pushed more chakra into Yoshiko. Zabuza tore through the thugs on his way towards it, terrified. I will see you in hell. Because a guy like you will be ruled by demons like me there. Zabuza exclaimed, as he stabbed Geto in the throat, sending him off the bridge to die in the water. Zabuza turned to find that those he had not killed had cut off his escape route. Thanks kid, I will remember this if you ever make hell with me. Zabuza charged the group, and used his feet to beat his way through the group, to finally fall onto a wary Kakashi. Please take me to Haku, I want to see her before I die. He whispered to Kakashi. His eyes went wide, and he just nodded, as he pulled several weapons from Zabuza's back. Kakashi then picked up Zabuza, and laid him next to Haku. Kakashi then looked at the sweating blonde girl. Can you save them both? Yoshiko began to shake her head. I don't know. Just doing this is taking a lot out of me, and Naruto isn't it? Yoshiko looked at Naruto, who was also sweating, as he nodded his response. I will do what I can, but I need to stabilize this one first. If we have enough strength left we will work on him. But first we need to take care of them. Yoshiko nodded towards the waiting thugs. Zabuza gently brushed Haku's face. Take care of Haku for me kid. Haku was more than a tool, Haku was like my child. Maybe I might get to go to heaven even with all that I have done. Please save Haku if nothing else. I know my life is forfeit. Tell Haku that I will try to watch over Zabuza, as he breathed his last breath. Yoshiko felt the tears run down her face, as she continued to work on Haku. I will watch over Haku for you. Yoshiko and Naruto both replied in unison, as Naruto gently squeezed her shoulders, as he continued to deliver chakra to her. Kakashi looked at his group, and shook his head. These are long odds. I am nearly out of chakra, and there are too many of them for me to kill myself. Naruto-kun, I have enough chakra left to finish this. Please help your sensei or we'll all die. Yoshiko asked, as she looked deeply into his eyes. Naruto smiled, and nodded. Wearily Naruto stood up, and made a cross-finger hand sign. Shadow clone. About 50 shadow clones appeared on the bridge, and all drew kunai. Kakashi shrugged his shoulders, and made a ram hand sign of clone. About 60 Kakashi appeared on the bridge. This caused the mercenaries to become worried for these exhausted shinobi to create over 100 clones. This would make the fight almost one-sided in the shinobi's favor. Haku's breathing steadied, as Yoshiko began to falter. Suddenly a crossbow bolt hit the bridge at the feet of the mercenaries. Everyone turned to see Inari leading the whole village, all of them armed with something. You can either leave now or we can force you to leave. Inari shouted, as the rest of the villagers rallied behind Inari. The mercenaries ran from the bridge in a panic. Yoshiko began to wrap Haku under her robe to maintain her modesty. Kakashi walked over to Yoshiko, and looked at her. You seem familiar, and can you help heal my student? Yoshiko rocked back on her heels, and shook her head. I can't help your Uchiha student at the moment. I am just too tired, and am nearly out of chakra. As for who I am, my name is Yoshiko Senju. I have to finish treating the wounds on this one before I can work on your student. He should be fine, I do see a lot of them, but none of them are in vital areas. Remove them, and patch him up. I will be by in a couple days to check on him. Yoshiko turned to Naruto, and smiled warmly, as she blushed. Thank you Naruto-kun, you were a great help. I will take care of your friend. You will see us again. I can assure you of that. What to do with Zabuza's body? Kakashi asked out loud, as an idea suddenly came to him. Naruto, you have burial details. Bury Zabuza's body, and bring me the head. It was nice to meet you, Yoshiko-hime. Send your mother my warmest regards. Kakashi said, as he smiled behind his mask. Naruto nodded his acknowledgement, and made several shadow clones that grabbed Zabuza's body, and the giant sword. Yes, sensei. Naruto, and his clones headed back towards the landing. Kakashi watched, as Sakura gently removed them from Sasuke. Yoshiko watched, as Sakura took delight in tending to the small wounds all over the exhausted Uchiha. So Yoshiko-hime, what are you doing here in Wave? Kakashi asked nonchalantly. Yoshiko shrugged, and then spoke. Nothing really, I just wanted to get away from the village, and this seemed like a nice spot, at least until I arrived. The economy is so depressed, but the bridge seems like it will fix that. Kakashi nodded, but kept an eye on the young Senju. What brought you to this site? Ishiko smiled. I felt the chakra spikes, and headed to the bridge. I saw this person struck by you, and saw the concern on Naruto-kun's face, and had to act. I didn't see what headbands you wore, so I decided to help either side until I could figure out who was who. Kakashi shook his head. That was a risky decision, young lady. You could have been captured or killed or worse. You are just lucky it was Leaf Shinobi here, not some other village. Ishiko blushed. I guess you're right. I will be more careful next time. You seem to have taken a liking to one of my students. Kakashi commented. Ishiko blushed, and then stuttered. What do you mean? Kakashi's eyes smiled. I am sure Naruto will be glad to know he has a following. If I may ask, why are you not drawn like most of the other girls to Sasuke? Ishiko immediately frowned. He is an Uchiha, and that is enough for me. Kakashi frowned, but nodded in agreement. That is understandable. Well, your two families found at Konoha they did not always get along. I hope it isn't because of history. Ishiko put her hands on her hips. Look at Haddock-san, I do not find Sasuke Uchiha attractive in the least. I like blondes better. Oops, she immediately covered her mouth with both hands, and blushed profusely. Sakura, having finished patching up Sasuke, walked over. What is so attractive about that baka? Ishiko shifted her hand so that she was biting on her right index fingernail. Well, I like his face. Those whisker marks are just so cute. His eyes show so much depth, I could just swim in them. His smile is to die for. Ishiko nearly swooned as she talked. She is almost as bad as you, and Ino, when you both talk about your Sasuke-kun. Kakashi teased. Both Ishiko and Sakura blushed. So you learned medicine from your mother? Kakashi asked, as Ishiko nodded. Could you take some time and work with Sakura here? Ishiko shook her head. Nope, not going to happen, I still have a lot to learn. I also have to get this one to a place where I can finish my healing work. Like I said, I will be by in a couple days to look in on the Uchiha boy. Where are you staying, by the way? Tsunade spoke up. They're staying at my place. You are welcome to join us there if you like, and then you can look over the two of them, if needed. Ishiko gently picked up Haku, as Kakashi picked up Sasuke. She followed Tsunade, Kakashi, and Sakura back to Tsunade's house. Kakashi attempted to put Sasuke in the same room as Haku. Ishiko adamantly refused. When asked why, her answer was, boys and girls will not sleep in the same room. Kakashi's eyes went wide with the confirmation that Haku was a girl. Ishiko told Kakashi not to spread this information around, or he would regret it. Naruto came back none too happy. He and his clones had buried Sabusa, and brought his head back in a cloth bag. Kakashi had then sealed it into a scroll, and told Naruto to get cleaned up. Naruto grumbled about having to do all the grunt work. This caused Ishiko to giggle, and Sakura to hate him, for which Ishiko slammed Sakura into a wall. Naruto was stunned for two reasons. One, a girl was actually defending him from Sakura, and two, she was as cute if not cuter than Sakura. Naruto thought to investigate this further after he cleaned up. Naruto entered the bathroom, and disrobed his boxers. He then washed his hands and head. He then put his clothes in the sink, and cleaned them. He pulled a sewing kit out of his pack, and began to repair his clothes when the door opened, and Ishiko entered. She turned bright red, as she looked Naruto directly in the face. Her eyes traveled down his body, and she was both embarrassed and angry. Naruto was, as her knowledge of human anatomy told her, nearly emaciated and near starving. She saw muscles, but she saw bones everywhere, where there should be at least some fat. Naruto had none. His face hid his starvation well. Ishiko bowed, and began an apology. I am sorry, I did not realize you were in this bathroom. Forgive my staring. If you will excuse me, I will use the other bathroom. She also noted that he was repairing his outfit. She knew he should have a spare while out on a mission. Either he didn't own one or he failed to bring an extra. Naruto noticed her eyes did not hold the hatred that others showed him. Well, he was embarrassed to be caught with his pants down. Literally, he was happy to find someone else who did not hate him. His sad look changed to a big smile. That is okay, sorry for my state of undress. Let me put my clothes back on, and you can use this bathroom. Ishiko turned and shook her head. No, that is alright, I will use the other one. You apparently did not bring another outfit, and have to repair this one. This room should have afforded you privacy. I'm sorry I barged in. Naruto had put on his pants, and his shirt. He put his hand on Ishiko's shoulder, and she turned around to look directly into his eyes. I am sorry for hogging this room. Naruto's eyes looked down then back. She saw gratefulness in his eyes. Thank you for saving Haku-chan. Ishiko wore an expression of surprise, and stuttered out. How did you know? Naruto smiled, and winked at her. I'm not going to tell you, you'll think I am a pervert, and now the bathroom is yours. Naruto said, as he passed her, and left the room. Ishiko immediately heard Sakura hit Naruto, and yelled at him. You are not supposed to go into the bathroom when a girl is in there. Geez, Sakura, I was there first, and nothing happened. Naruto snidely replied, as she heard him being hit again. Ishiko was getting angry with the pink banshee for abusing her Naruto-kun. I swear I am going to kill her after the exams. Yoshiko thought to herself. The rest of the night was filled with Naruto annoying Sakura, much to Yoshiko's delight. Kakashi seemed to have an idea in his mind, but kept his nose in his book. The next week saw the finishing of the bridge. Naruto was a great help in that his shadow clones did most of the grunt work. Haku and Sasuke were healed for the most part. Haku still had more work to be done on her, but Yoshiko made sure that she got plenty of rest and was healing properly. Yoshiko and Haku became fast friends and would talk about Naruto when no one else was around. Haku dropped the boy persona when it was just herself and Yoshiko. Yoshiko explained that Konoha actually liked bloodlines, but she would have to be careful not to let the council try to marry her off to someone. Haku admitted that she was attracted to Naruto, but was scared of what she saw when they fought. Yoshiko helped Haku through the pain of losing Zabuza as best as she could. Haku wanted to get to know Naruto better, but Yoshiko advised her to wait until after Naruto had grown a little. She would like the results she was sure of. Yoshiko also told Haku about Naruto's secret to her. Haku at first was only surprised, then she accepted that Naruto has had a hard life like she did, and would do what she could to help make his life better. Yoshiko told Haku that was also her goal, and that they both with the help of others, could make Naruto the happiest person alive. Haku blushed at the possible revelations that Yoshiko was discussing. The six left wave on a happy note. Haku had accepted Zabuza's death, and made Naruto one of her precious people. Yoshiko left a shadow clone to see what they were going to name the bridge to make sure that there was not too much pollution in the time stream. The people voted to name the bridge, the Great Naruto Bridge. Yoshiko was pleased to learn of what they named the bridge after Naruto. Sakura spent the whole trip trying to make sure that Yoshiko didn't want to take Sasuke away from her. Sasuke for his part tried to stay close to her. His conversations were very droll, and mostly about himself. Yoshiko just rolled her eyes, giggled, and looked at Haku. Sasuke thought he might be making headway with the heir to the Senju clan. Boy, was he wrong. When they finally got to the village, Naruto had become quiet, not sure what was going on with Haku and Yoshiko. Both kept on looking at him funny and blushing. Sakura had become very loud in her attempt to get Sasuke's attention. Sasuke kept on trying to get closer to Yoshiko. Kakashi was contemplating what he was going to do with the two new girls. Both were skilled, had bloodlines, but both seemed to hate Sasuke, and both girls seemed to like Naruto. Kakashi just sighed as they entered the village. Haku was wide-eyed as they headed towards the Hokage's tower. Naruto ignored the glares as Haku and Yoshiko both put their hands on Naruto's shoulders. Naruto gently smiled back at the girls. All six entered the Hokage's office and saw the Hokage sitting at his chair happily smoking. So Team 7, how did your mission go? Oh hello Yoshiko-chan, and who is your friend? The Hokage greeted the group. Yoshiko bowed and smiled at Tsunade. This is Haku, someone I met in the Land of Waves. She was working with Zabuza Mimichi. Kakashi stated, as the rest of Team 7's jaws hit the floor. Yoshiko, Naruto, and Haku all shot Kakashi a very angry look. Sasuke then leered longingly at Haku. Naruto pointed at Kakashi and could not say a word. I suggest we put her up with Sasuke in the Uchiha compound. Yoshiko continued to glare at Kakashi. She will be staying with me at the Senju compound. I do not trust the Uchiha to leave her alone. I would also ask that the Hokage keep her status, as a female, a private matter. She is under my family's protection. Why would that be? Tsunade inquired. Because she has an ice bloodline trait. Kakashi noted that Tsunade raised an eyebrow. The council will want to know about her ability. Yoshiko was now livid, as was Haku. I wish for my abilities to remain my own. If they are spread around the village, I will give you a castration. Then freeze your testicles off. Do I make myself clear? Haku threatened, as Kakashi began to sweat. She then looked directly at the Hokage. That goes for you too, old man. I was promised protection from both Yoshiko-chan and Naruto-kun. The Hokage looked a little scared and also confused. Okay, let's start from the beginning. First I want to collect the bounty for Zabuza Mimichi, the demon of the mist. Kakashi stated, as he unsealed the head from his scroll. Haku's eyes went wide. Oh, and by the way, Naruto took the head off the body. Haku looked worriedly at Naruto, his face was downcast. Yes sensei, I did take the head off Zabuza's body on your orders. I am sorry Haku-chan. Naruto sounded very sincere. Sasuke just made a sound that showed his disgust at Naruto's sentimental attitude towards Haku. Haku gave an angry look at Sasuke, and then turned her face to Naruto, giving him a kind, but hurt smile. Yoshiko put her hand on Haku's shoulder to give her comfort. You did good Naruto, it was a nice clean cut. I do not understand why you are having problems with Haku-chan. Tsunade commented with concern. Zabuza was precious to Haku, Gigi. Naruto commented to Tsunade. He was an evil and cruel man. Sakura commented loudly. The room suddenly became cold. Naruto stood in front of Haku. He then placed his hands upon her shoulders and shook his head. The fire in Haku's eyes softened as she nodded. Yes, Zabuza-san was precious to me. Thankfully I have found more that are precious to me, to replace what was lost. Haku stated, as she looked fondly at Naruto and Yoshiko. Okay, what happened on the mission, and what did Zabuza have to do with it? Sarutobi asked pointedly. Naruto began to excitedly explain the tale of the mission. Kakashi stopped him before he got to the point of Naruto saving him from the water prison that Kakashi was trapped in. Kakashi glossed over Naruto's achievements, and made a point of showing Sasuke's achievements during the mission. He said teamwork played an important role. Naruto looked dejected at his being shafted by his sensei over what he felt were good points in the mission. Kakashi eventually said he would then turn in his report in the morning, and that the team was dismissed. Team 7 left the room, as Ishiko and Haku stayed at the office. So what do I owe the honor of you two sticking around after the team has given its report? Sarutobi asked. Well, Hokage-sama. There are a few things I would like to report. Yoshiko started with a frown. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.